Welcome to Let's Talk, brought to you by the Hempfield Area School District.
This is Jeff Krakoff. We are with Jason Lochner, principal at Herald. Thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you, Jeff.
So as you're well aware, there have been a lot of questions about what's going to happen next year. I know administrators, you and others have been getting a lot of questions from parents, both directly, and I understand there are a lot of questions at a recent orientation for 8th and 9th graders. So I have a whole list of questions that have been received, and I'm going to walk through it. I'm going to put them in different categories, just like general. A lot of parents had questions about electives and special ed and music. But let me ask you the questions, and I hope you have the answers. So first of all, what time will school begin and end?
Our day will start at 7:20 in the morning, and we will wrap it up at 2:40 in the afternoon.
Okay. And what will the bell schedule be at Herald?
We're actually going to run the same bell schedule that the high school does. They have 40-minute periods. Only difference is they have 4 minutes of transition time between classes at the high school. We have a much smaller building. So I think realistically, we can compress that down to 2 or 3 moments to work that out. There is one variation to our bell schedule, though. The high school has a homeroom / activity period. It is in the period 4 slot. For us, it will be at the end of the day. And the primary reason to do that is to take care of our transportation needs. The general plan is for our students to be shuttled from Herald to the high school at the end of the day. Moving the activity period will ensure that students do not lose instructional time.
Got it. And then how about freshmen specifically? How will they be transported to and from the school?
Right. So the freshmen, I partially answered that question for you. Our students will ride the same buses as the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. The plan, as I understand it at this point, is for the busing to start and drop off the 10th, 11th, 12th graders at the high school, and then to stop at Herald, and they'll drop the 9th graders off at that point. And then in reverse at the end of the day, the 9th graders get picked up first, get shuttled over to the high school, and then they catch the ride home from there.
Okay, will there be any allowances for parents or siblings to transport a student themselves to and from the school?
Absolutely. We do that now as the middle school. We'll continue to do that. For parents who like to carpool their kids, or older brothers or sisters who might be at the high school, they can drop them off at the building. Right now we have our kids who get private transportation dropped off in the main entrance. I believe our plan is to continue that. Otherwise, our students will probably be dropped off at the cafeteria from our buses.
Okay. We have parents submit a couple of questions very specifically about elective courses. So what courses will 9th graders take at Herald?
So both core classes and electives classes, same things that they would offer at the high school, and those change year to year. The department has an opportunity to offer them. They have the same, different levels of math, different levels of English, the science, the bios, the ELA classes. As far as more electives base, every student will take phys ed class. They all take a freshman seminar class. Some kids may choose to do things like band or chorus or performance arts kinds of things. There are different variations of the STEM courses that are out there. There's different versions of art, such as a digital photography. There are a couple of different offerings that they can take in the Family Consumer Science Suite. All of those things we've tried to make as convenient as possible, and we've linked them to our district's website. There's an FAQ section, and there's also a 9th grade program of studies. We distributed that to parents last week at our parent orientation, but for those that maybe were not unable to attend, I'd encourage them to take a look. By now, most all of our students in 9th grade have actually checked off and signed up for their courses. Our counselors are actually in the process of entering course requests right now.
Great, but all that information is currently up on the website. Awesome. How about special ed? What kind of special ed programs will be offered?
We have every intention to offer the same special needs services that we have at Herald right now, that the high school has, that the other middle schools. We have an autistic support room available. We have a self-contained or full-time learning support, and the plan is to have emotional support service as well as the traditional learning support classes.
Got it. Have a music question. Will
Sure.
ninth grade students have separate music concerts?
They will. The plan is for them to have 2 chorus and 2 band concerts that occur here at Harold. It's for ninth graders.
Okay. Okay. Under the category of athletics and extracurriculars, what if my child wishes to play high school sports? Will that change in any way with these changes?
No. For the most part, my understanding is ninth graders generally are participating in JV sports. The sports will continue to exist as they always have. We just are going to need to make arrangements and plan with our athletic department to provide shuttles so that the students can participate in the regular high school athletics.
Got it. So basically be the same for ninth through 12th grade student athletes. Another question, what if my child plays up on a JV team? How will that be handled?
Yep, same way. Run shuttles. We have announcements for kids. Coaches are phenomenal about reaching out to kids, letting them know when they have special practices or events.
Okay.
Just shuttling kids over so that they can participate with the older kids.
Okay. Another musical question, actually. Will my child still have opportunities as a ninth grader to participate in the spring musical?
Yes, my understanding is they're going to have open auditions for the kids who are ninth graders, and they can participate in that. And then they, the way we do it now is at times there are even middle school kids that participate from time to time in those kinds of musicals, and they often ride shuttles with sports kids and things like that. So, very granular in terms of the details we're looking here, but my understanding is yes, they will have that full opportunity to do so.
Okay. As far as gifted programs, how will my child who has a GIEP receive services?
Gifted education is actually quite different in the high school than the middle school for the folks that are watching this. And there were a lot of those parents were able to attend our orientations, which they provided phenomenal questions to us. Difference is that the gifted areas are very content specific for science, social studies, math, the Englishes, and there will be an instructor who will provide enrichment opportunities for the students in whatever area they choose to take.
Okay. I guess, are you hearing other things, whether it's through meetings, through phone calls, through emails? What's your take? Do you feel that most parents have the information that they need to have and are looking for? Are there areas in particular that people are worried about?
Honestly, I haven't heard any broad concerns, questions, or issues.
Okay.
We, I would say that the questions that you and I had just discussed were probably the broadest in nature. Occasionally, a parent will have a very unique or specific situation, and they have done a phenomenal job of reaching out to me. I've been in contact with some parents from Wendover and West Hempfield. Their kids are coming to ninth grade now, and I don't know those kids yet. The Harold kids I've been with for the last couple of years, so hopefully they're comfortable with that transition already. Actually, most of the questions are from the kids, and they just want to know about like, hey, do I get a different locker or a different room and that? And I mean, they're great questions from the kids. And there's a lot of details to be sorted out yet. We're in the process where kids are currently selecting courses. So we're still accumulating course requests so that we can determine how many and what and who will be here. And it takes time. It probably takes 2 or 3 months to really sort out all of those details and then to build the school out to what it will look like.
All right, I guess a final question, just to summarize. If you put yourself in the shoes of any parent or student that will be at Harold next year, are there any other questions or things that you want to say to them that they need to know?
I don't know if I personally would have a question. The one thing that I would tell the folks that are coming here, and I tell this to the kids too, because for some kids, I understand there's a disappointment that they're not going to the high school. They've been looking at it. I will say and understand I only know the Harold kids, but I have conversations with kids every day. Many kids, while some are disappointed, many kids actually seem to really embrace it because it's a pretty nice and safe transition. They're not going into a very large building. They know the facility. They know a lot of their friends. They know the structure of the building. It's smaller. It's more contained. A lot of our kids would not naturally be taking classes or electives with older classmen anyhow. So I hope it's a really, really positive transition for them. I have, I've run a middle school for a very long point in time now, and I think that we can take a lot of the really great support services that we have for middle school kids right now, and we can merge them with the transition into what high school schedule and high school sports and all of those things look like. So I think that we have an opportunity to really have a nice program and facility for the kids for the next couple of years while the high school undergoes the renovation.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your answers to all of our questions. Again, Jason Lochner, principal at Herald, and parents, if there are other questions, please keep the questions coming and we'll get you answers. So thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Take care.